Today we are going to be ranking every LEGO Star Wars 2001 set. Now 2001 was a pretty awful year for LEGO Star Wars. Only 10 sets came out this year, and not many of them were very good. But it certainly was an interesting year, and there are a lot of forgotten sets in this wave, probably for a good reason. But with that said, I'm going to ask you all to hit that subscribe button, we're going to get right on into it. So starting off at number 10 is probably one of the worst LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. It's a 8008, the Stormtrooper. It cost $35 back in the day. It would go for around $56, adjusted for inflation. And this just completely misses the point of what these were made for. Now, they did do Technic battle droids and pit droids and droidkas, all those things, because they were very cool in Technic. They looked like something that you'd actually see, and they recreated the things they were trying to do very well. This does not look good. This is not a Stormtrooper. I don't know what this is. It's cool that it shoots. That's cool. But it just sucks. There's no special features, nothing interesting about it that other than the shooting. It's just awful in my opinion. And you know, I don't even want to spend too much time on it because it's just that bad of a set. Either way, moving on to one that's a little cooler. It's number 9, it's 8007, the C-3PO LEGO Technic set. Again, $35, cost about $56 if you adjust for inflation. And this one's actually pretty okay. Now, the reason I don't like it is specifically because 3PO is a humanoid shape, and it just doesn't work in Technic. Like, the other ones worked really well because they were not looking like humans. This one is still in the form of a human. But the thing that's cool about him is if you actually press his little tummy thing, you know, his arms will shoot out, as well as his head. So he can explode like in Bespin, which is absolutely sick, and actually that's what one of the Stormtroopers' features is. It's to shoot C-3PO. So that's actually kind of neat. So yeah, just an overall interesting set. I don't know if it's worth like that $56, almost close to $60 value, which is what you'd be paying in today's money, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. Now at number 8, we have set 10018, one of the most scary LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. This is Darth Maul. At $150, it would cost about $240 today, adjusted for inflation. This is creepy. It is a creepy looking LEGO Star Wars set. One of the creepiest I have ever seen, quite honestly. You know, it's not like the 2002 Yoda, which, you know, we'll get to next year. This one just, oh, the eyes are scary. I don't like how you, like, get most of his body, or like, the upper half of his neck. It just feels unnatural to have a human-sized head in LEGO. But with that said, it is certainly something unique. They nailed the face tattoo with the red. That looks actually really good. And the horns, that all looks good. I could see this being something people would put on their shelves, but it would freak people out. And it's one of the probably very few LEGO Star Wars sets that's ever been able to actually, like, freak someone out, which, you know, that's an accomplishment. But either way, moving on from that, we have our number 7 pick at 7186, Watto's Junkyard. Now, first off, in this, you do get 2 speeders. You get Aldar Beto, who you will remember in the last one, which he was scary. And then we also do get Watto in this amazing little blue shindig, whatever he's got going on here. So Aldar Beto, he looks freaky in here too. I do think the speeder is interesting. Again, not a fan of these older pod racers, to be honest. You also do get this green one, which does come in parts, but it's very easy to assemble together and make one. You also do get our only ever interpretation to this day still of Watto's Junkyard. You know, it's nothing exciting looking. You know, you get some engines and some stuff. I think it would have been cool if they included, say, the hyperdrive that they needed to sell for the Naboo, you know, fighter or the Naboo ship, but they didn't do that, which is kind of unfortunate. Either way, moving on from that, it starts to get interesting. It's at 71060 Droid Escape. Now this would be about a $10 set today, adjusted for inflation, but it was $6 back then. Came with R2 and 3PO. I believe R2 was a very common figure at the time, so 3PO, probably this was a good set to get him in. The escape pod build is very boring and generic. You put some sticker on, and you also just get a completely, you know, empty interior. You're just kind of let him float around in there. Not the best, in my opinion. It's just, you know, it's a $6 build. You can't expect very much from it. And it's just alright. There's not a lot to comment on. You know, we're starting to transition out of that as we get to the top, like in terms of sets. Like, we were getting better and better sets. Like, moving on to the next one. At number 5, we have 7166. our first ever Imperial shuttle, which feels surprisingly modern. I don't know why it does, but to me it just feels surprisingly modern. Either way, this came with this was $35 back in the day, which, you know, for 4 figures in a set, that's not bad. 56 adjusted for inflation, again, about what the new one's going for, but I think this was actually a better value. Now you're getting Palpatine in this, Yellowhead Palpatine. You know, you're getting the 2 Royal Guards and an officer, so nothing crazy special. I believe this was actually the first set with Imperial Guards, so that might have been a level of draw back in the day, and it just all fits together. It works really well. It's a really nice set. You have some room in the interior to keep all of your guards and Palpatine. They're all holding black sticks, which I find mildly funny. But other than that, it's just an interesting set. I could see this being put on shelves today because it holds up decently well. Not the best. You know, it's about on par with the 2021 one, which is just terrible. So it holds up with that, probably. You know, again, you guys know I'm not a fan of that. But either way, moving on, we have number 4, our first ever official TIE Fighter. And that's what this was, the first TIE Fighter. And, you know, it was at 7146. It cost $20 back in the day, about $32 now, adjusted for inflation. Came with the first ever Stormtrooper minifigure, which I can imagine was a insane draw back then. We didn't have any Stormtroopers yet. And you also did get a TIE Pilot, so that was very cool to get both of those, and I can't believe it actually took that long to get Stormtroopers in LEGO Star Wars. It took them 3 years, which is kind of nuts that they went without Stormtroopers for 3 years. Either way, moving on from that, we have set 7127 at our number 3 spot, our first ever AT-ST. Again, you'll notice there are a lot of firsts, and I like to note it specifically because lots more of these come out in the future. Cost $10 back in the day, that's just great. And it cost about $16 adjusted for inflation. I could see this totally as a $25 set nowadays. So $16 is great. You're getting Chewie in it, which is, again, fantastic, cheap way to get Chewie. He did come in a minifigure pack, so it wasn't as hard to get him, so he wasn't like anything special. Just a neat little set, and, you know, I'm curious to see how they're going to do the new Juniors one coming out later in 2022. Moving on either way to our number 2 set. This one actually I like a lot. It's the Battle Droid Carrier. It cost $10 back in the day. It would be about $16 today, so about the average battle pack price. It came with 7 B1 battle droids, one of which being the blue pilot dude. And, you know, you got a decent transport. This is actually like an army buildable thing. You got all the blasters with it. You would see on the cart. You could fold them up. It looked so good. And you know, we don't get stuff like this. This was a great army builder. You know, again, in first of the battle pack category, in my opinion, because battle droids are valued differently than minifigures. So, like, you know, you get more per your figure per your buck, but either way, it's a really cool set. Now let's move into our number 1 pick, which is also possibly one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets of all time, and for 2002 this is insane, and really up to this point, this is the best LEGO Star Wars set ever to be released. It is just that good, and it still holds up well today. It is at 10019. The Rebel Blockade Runner cost $200 back in the day, cost about $320 today. This thing is a behemoth. I mean, there's a shot of the engines which just showcased how massive this thing truly is. And it is sick. It is a cool looking model. It looks great. There's not much of an interior as far as I could tell. There are next to no high quality reviews of it up on YouTube. But it is sick. I absolutely love this thing. This is great. I want to own it one day. It is just fantastic. I believe the year after this, we get the UCS Star Destroyer, you know, somewhere near here. So that is a cool thing that it will go along. This is a beautiful shelf model. The first ever truly great UCS set. I believe it is the 3rd UCS set after the year before was just atrocious run with borderline scam box arts because of how bad they were. It's a nice set, and it still holds up in my opinion to this day. Like, you could put this among, other than some minor things with prints, you could put it among a lot of modern sets and, you know, just modify the pieces because some of the pieces are older pieces. And it is a modern set. Like, it wouldn't be hard to do a new one. They could basically copy this model right here. It's good. I love it a lot. I have the 2019 Tantive, and that's a cool set, but this one, wow. I would trade that one every day of the week for this one. It is just that cool. But either way, with that said, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think the best LEGO Star Wars sets of 2001 are. Quite an interesting year for LEGO Star Wars. I believe the smallest wave we've ever gotten for a LEGO Star Wars year, which is kind of surprising, seeing as it was only its 3rd year in production. Either way, again, tell me your thoughts down in the comment below. I really appreciate it. See you all in the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome.